time. It's a pleasure meeting you. So my first question is, what kind of movies can we expect to see in this festival? And which ones would you recommend not to miss?
I think it's a very diverse choice of films. Most of the films, they have been at different big European and international festivals. I think it's for something for almost everybody, I would say. I mean, the opening film Gavagai was in New York. It's Ulrich Köhler is the representative of the so-called Berlin School, the classic German art house, I would say. But then we have also a documentary about Hildegard Knef. She was a very well-known German actress. We have an interesting short film program. Or, for example, as the closing film, we have a film called The Good Sister. It was selected, I think, for San Sebastian. It's a young German filmmaker. It's her first big film. So there are, how to say, different kinds of films. There's also a program of what is more like family entertainment for kids or families. So, yeah, it's mixed.
And how can German cinema and Italian cinema interact in this film? In this festival, in terms of creative inspiration and the film distribution?
I think, some of the films might get an Italian distribution. It's a few one, but also I think it's interesting, the German cinema language, and we are looking for the Italian audience. And unfortunately, at the moment, we don't have a lot of co-productions with Italy. Germany, we used to have, but the interest also for Italian films in Germany is actually quite big. And I think this can be a good basis also for future collaboration.
And what do you think this festival can offer to Italian audiences?
I think a view of the younger generation also of German filmmakers, how they see their life, how they see the world, how they see the family, what kind of values do you have. I think that's an interesting thing. And there's also an interesting question to discuss. So we also have some guests. So there will be the possibility after the screenings to have a conversation with the filmmakers.
In your opinion, what role can German cinema have today in German society, but also on a more international level?
And in Germany, German cinema is, I'd say, pretty popular at the moment, I would say. So we had for the big cinema screens, we had a market share of 25% last year. What for German cinema is good. We never had 50 or whatever. So, and also we have commercial films for families, comedies, also other formats. And I think it's a kind of reflection of the society. It's a reason to discuss things and also entertaining. I think that's very important. German films, the image was a little bit, it's like boring and a lot of talking, but in fact, it's not like this, so many of our films are very entertainment. There's also humor.
All right. One last question. How do you see the future of German cinema, especially for younger directors?
I think there's a good future. Personally, I'm an optimist. Of course, we have to understand the way of distribution. I think cinema will be a part of the releases, but not only. The younger generation watches films also not just on TV, but also on mobile phones and everywhere. And I think the young generation of directors, they have to be able to make films for all this kind of formats, also for the big screen, but not only for the big screen, also for the small screen, for streaming. And then I think it will always be there. People love films; they want to be entertained, so there is no problem.